well and truly set in. The weather, a lot of rain has fallen in the last few days. The temperature's cooled down. It's really quite pleasant, but this leaves, less opportunity to get out and about and explore, and so we start to look for other things to do. Which for me is a little bit problematic, because that usually means I get these harebrained schemes of things that I might plan to do, and this is no different. So I have been jokingly saying to a lot of people before I left for Thailand that I was going to get neck to knee tattoos, and I was going to get so much botox in my face that I would look like a dinner plate. Flat, expressionless. So on a whim today, I decided to go into one of the local facial rejuvenation clinics here in Rawai and just see what they had to say about the current state of my face. I know that some of you find this highly amusing, because I really don't care. Back when I was younger, absolutely. I was very focused on what I look like and was concerned and all that sort of stuff. And I did get Botox in my early 40s, or I get a little bit here, and I think that was about it. But and I have had Botox in my jaw to mitigate the really awesome jaw clenching issues that I have. I'm very effective. Apart from that, not really interested. I went in there and I thought, oh, what are they going to say? And apparently they said, oh, you haven't had work done before. I was a little taken aback by that, but it was actually just that lovely Thai way of being very honest about to you and that language thing. So after a consultation, we came up with a plan, and apparently, oh, can you hear that rain? It's really pouring down now. So apparently I have now booked in to get some work done. What I'm having is I'm having some filler in here, underneath my very baggy eyes, allegedly. Some filler in here, a bit of Botox. We're going to do something about this brown spots here and here. So yeah. So this little spiel is a little bit about me going and having some facial rejuvenation. So enjoy the ride. Bring on the dinner plate face. I'll keep you posted. Alright, so here we are getting ready for our little experiment. I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, so I have some numbing stuff on my face. I'm going to be lying here for about an hour while it takes effect. So good opportunity to have a nice little nap. And then let the games begin. Alright. So I've had this stuff on for about an hour now. It does feel a little bit tingly, a little bit number. Had a couple little power naps. It's all a bit fun. So I guess anytime now I'll get to the business end and we'll see what happens from there. So I finished with my first session and I cannot believe this. So they lasered this off and put some stuff in it. It already looks better. Put so much filler in here. I kind of feel like I'm a big puffball, but I can't believe it. I can understand why people get addicted to this sort of thing, and you don't realize until you go and do something like this just how different you can look, or how much, not better, but healthier, I don't know, younger. I'm just like, oh my god, it's crazy. Like the bags under my... It was funny though, she said to me, I have not seen so much skin under your eyes. She actually asked me if I'd had eye things put in before, because there was so much skin. Oh dear, I don't know if I should be pleased or offended, but regardless, I'm actually blown away just what filler can do for you. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Comments, thoughts. It took a long time. I feel like a bit of a pincushion. I do feel like I'm kind of full, and it did feel kind of strange when they were putting the filler in, particularly when they were doing it up here, and I could feel the fluid moving up around my eyes. It was quite a surreal experience, but would I do it again? Don't know. It's been 6 months. Anyway, that's well, it's a Wednesday. It's about 2 days since I had all this stuff done, so I thought I'd just let you know what's happening. because it's kind of interesting how all this works. First of all, you'll see the brown mark that I had the laser stuff done on. It's starting to scab up now. Apparently that'll take about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and then it will come off and be a lot lighter. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. And then they're going to do this one here. I feel really strange, like my face just feels like it's so chubby. I feel like one of those little kids, you see the little babies and they're like they've got the big chubby cheeks, and that's kind of what I feel like. I can almost see them. I mean, they're not sticking out like massive or anything, but for me, because I'm not used to it, it's a really weird feeling. So I'm sure all of you people who do this a lot will be like, yeah, that's just normal. But for someone like me who's only just dabbled years ago, this is kind of weird. The other thing is that I forgot they had botox put in here, and it's clearly starting to take effect, because I feel like this whole lip is lifting up like this. Like, it feels massive, and it feels like it's way up here. And when I tried to have some coffee this morning, I really struggled to actually shut my mouth properly. I thought, oh my god, that's strange. So yeah, but anyway, that's a little bit of what's been happening. It's a little bit tender, it's a little bit sore in spots, but apart from that, it's an interesting process. But I'll keep you posted about what happens next. Alrighty, day 7 after I started the old face renovations. It's an interesting thing. You'll see that this little mark is just about gone. I'm so impressed with how that's worked out. I've had this one removed today. It's a little bit sore and swollen. My understanding is that it'll go down in a day or two. It's just because it's so close to the eye that it's caused problems. Everything else is going along quite nicely, but the only problem is that once you start renovating one area, you realise there's problems in other areas. So this cosmetic lady decided she wanted to put some filler in here, and now I feel like I've got these most huge lips. There's nothing in my lips, but everything's just so swollen at the moment. I feel like I'm a bit of a trout, something like that anyway. But she assures me that in a day or two that will go back to normal, and it won't look quite so like an old age brat style, hopefully. Anyway, it's been interesting. I don't quite know how I feel about it. I think there's something to be said that when you do have some things like this, that, you know, when you feel you look fresher, look less tired, so then I don't feel as tired. I don't know, something weird like that, but interesting. Anyway, me and my fish lips are gonna go and have a nap. Alright everybody, we're almost 2 weeks in since the commencement of my facial renovation. Let's just recap some of the stuff that went on. So to start off with, we put some botox up here, I believe, a little bit in here. Some botox went into the old crow's feet. They put in some here, this is botox. Put some filler in between all of those axe wounds I had going on in here. Filler into my cheeks, under my eyes. They put some here in the top of my lip. They put a little bit in my bottom lip, but we'll talk about that later. And yeah, then I had the laser done on the red spots here, of the dark brown spot here, which has been really effective, and then also this one underneath my eye, which was quite raised and swollen and was causing me a little bit of aggravation, so I thought I'd have that one removed too. So that's what we went and had done, and now let's reflect. What I like about what I've done is that I look less tired. And just by the very nature of looking less tired, I feel less tired. I appreciate that this is probably a psychological effect, but it does make a difference. I also like the fact that I don't have these brown marks anymore. Well, they're going. That was probably the only thing I was really concerned about, particularly the one near my eye, because as I said earlier, that was actually starting to cause me a few problems. And it was painful, and it was getting quite swollen at times. I like the fact that my axe wounds are a little smaller. Again, that comes down to the tiredness. But overall, that, that's the positive. That's what I can see physically, what I like about it. Physically, what I don't like about it is my face is tight. I have no real movement. My lips feel huge. Everything feels heavy. From an emotional and a psychological perspective, when I look in the mirror, the face that I see in there is not the face that I recognize, or it's not me anymore. I can't be as expressive, as you can see, and that's how I communicate. I'm a very expressive face talker and hand talker, as my daughter would say, and it feels unnatural to me to not be able to do that. Further to that, when you go through this whole process, is this, need to be very critical. Well, not need to be very critical. I think we're all very much harsh critics, but the fact that you've got to be vulnerable and open and have someone else critique you, which is really, really challenging. And I have battled with self-image issues all of my life, and I'd finally got to a point where I was comfortable with what I look like, who I am, all that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden I'm putting myself back in the firing line, and that inner critic started talking to me again. Oh yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I do look tired. Maybe I do have these big bags. Maybe I'm not good enough the way that I look. And that tapped into something very deep within me, which I didn't like. So that's kind of been a bit strange. I've been extremely self-conscious since we started this process. The whole, oh my God, is everyone going to know? And then finding that, well, who cares? Everyone here does that. I know that I joked about having a dinner plate face, and then all of a sudden I have a dinner plate face because my lips feel big. I think, do my lips look so huge that, I just look ridiculous or fake? I know this isn't the case, but these are all the things that run through your mind, because from my perspective, despite the fact that they're not extreme modifications, they're still modifications, so they have the same impact on me. Having said all that, would I do it again? Some of it, probably. Definitely these brown marks, definitely would do that. This business here, no. A little bit up the top here, yeah, because it does actually stop me from frowning, and I carry a lot of stress, or I manifest stress in my face, so it actually restricts me from doing that. So yes, I would probably do this again, but on a significantly lower scale than what has been done to date. There's also been some really positive things that have come out of it, that I did challenge this by throwing myself under the self-image bus again. It's kind of reminded me that, yeah, I'm okay. I'm really okay with who I am and what I look like, and these things are actually helpful for me. The things that I've chosen, that I potentially would maintain down the track, because they're helpful for me on many levels. It's also reminded me that it's really important to understand that this is all subjective. This is how you view yourself, how others view yourselves, and all that sort of stuff. But what's really, really important, and it comes back to that age-old saying, is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what I implore you to do is, you be the beholder. You be the one who decides what beauty is to you, and don't let anyone else dictate those terms. That is super, super important, and it's reminded me to look at myself as, I'm a flawed human being, and those flaws are what makes me special. And it doesn't matter what those magazines or Instagram or anyone tells you. That's what their idea of beauty is. What your idea of beauty is the one that should be the most important, and keep that with you. So that's been a real positive for me, to remind myself that just don't give a shit, And if people feel the need to tell you what you should look like or what you should wear or what you should do and all that sort of stuff, just remember it's none of your business what anybody else thinks. So that's pretty much what going and having a full facial renovation has taught me. So hope you can get something out of that, or if you don't, but whatever you decide, it's what you decide and not what anyone else decides for you. Have fun. Bye.